Utopia in Wonder Woman's Themyscira, presented by Amanda Sardinas. In the Wonder Woman comics/films, Themyscira can be considered a technological and highly feminist utopia. What is Themyscira? Themyscira, created by writer William Marston, debuted in 1941 with iconic superhero Wonder Woman in All-Star Comics number 8. It was originally called Paradise Island and is also home to where Diana, Wonder Woman, was raised in. Themyscira is a segregated society of women controlled by Aphrodite's law, which states that the Amazons will be eternal as long as no male sets foot on their island. Men are prohibited from entering Themyscira under the threat of execution. Themyscira is supposed to be situated in the Bermuda Triangle, but its residents have the magical power to teleport to any desired place or historical period. What makes Themyscira a utopia based on Sir Thomas More's philosophy? In Utopia, Thomas More's socio-political goal mirrors a more dynamic awareness of place, time, and existential conditions by being more progressive and open-minded towards women. In the novel, a character named Raphael Hythloday reveals himself to be a philosopher and global wanderer. He has observed the first contemporary utopia and intends to discuss it with Giles and Moore, two other characters in the book. As Hythloday mentions, in Utopia, where there is no private property, everyone is seriously concerned with pursuing the public welfare. In contrast to the rest of the world, everyone in Utopia is productive and content because they equally contribute to their community. The ego and the individual are not completely eradicated in Utopia since community life promotes the whole to function as a single entity. Physical and intellectual education alters the potential of every individual, regardless of gender, by preparing him or her for remarkable service in the public domain. The ideals of Utopia are demonstrated in both the film and in Wonder Woman because they highlight the importance of intellect, peace, equality, and rationality, which is a key concept when describing how a utopia world should govern. Thomas More has clearly shown his personal tolerance and progressive ideas on women's rights and social benefits through his writing. For example, given the gender dynamics of the 16th century, in which women were first subject to their fathers and subsequently to their husbands, most utopian women lived very different lifestyles than the normal 16th century English lady did. Hythloday specifies on the idea that a harmful intention against a woman is just as punishable as actually committing a crime towards her with the statement, "A man who tries to seduce a woman is subject to the same penalties as if he had actually done it." They think that a crime attempted is as bad as one committed, and that failure should not confer advantages on a criminal who did all he could to succeed. From a feminist perspective, this law that punishes men and women equally gives women some independence and control over their own bodies and a degree of physical safety. By exposing the matter of seduction before the crime, assault, or rape occurs, women in Moore's utopian ideal gain a level of security that helps stop violence against their bodies and prevents them from being victimized or placed under an umbrella of guilt. As a result, the authority of the female matrimonial courting and the so-called feminine mystique are pushed aside in this utopia in favor of equal protection under the law. This need to protect women for peace and safety is also seen in Themyscira. Aphrodite's law was enacted as a consequence of Hippolyta, commonly known as Wonder Woman's mother, getting emotionally scarred after being assaulted by Hercules. As a result, her people became very insular and concluded that most, if not all, males were monsters. Marston developed the island to symbolize the safety and comfort of the home, where women flourished in contrast to the harsh male-dominated work environment seen in the 1940s, commonly referred to as a man's world. Charlotte Perkins Gilman's Hernan. Women give birth via self-reproduction in Charlotte Perkins Gilman's utopian novel, Hernan. Education is highly valued, and women are entirely self-sufficient and physically capable of doing what was usually regarded as a man's job at the time the book was published in 1915. Each woman picks one or more trades to study and practice, and the women live in communities that are both pleasant and efficient. Even the apparel is described as wonderfully designed. It is appealing, comfy, and has the ideal number of baguettes. Herland's comparison to Themyscira, revolving motherhood. Gilman's life's work revolved around the philosophy of the world's mother, which she referred to as the altruistic, loving women spirit who nurtures, protects, and educates the whole human species. They revere the institution of maternity. Thus, the most intelligent females of their society are responsible for educating their offspring. In addition, they use experimental learning in which children learn to play by action and inquiry, and never by mindless memorization. Children discover early on that learning is enjoyable, therefore, they continue to do so throughout their lives. Princess Diana is also taught this technique as a child. Her mother and her aunt expose her to fighting, riding horses, and morals. Themyscira is a motherly state addressing the fundamental needs of every person. There is no such thing as my child, my house, or my family, only the whole population as a single family in their home, like nation. In Themyscira, the women refer to each other as sisters. They are all bonded together and stand united as one nation. Herland's comparison to Themyscira revolving around nature. In reference to the writer Pamela Bador, the women of Herland decided centuries ago that keeping livestock was an inefficient way, so they have a vegetarian lifestyle with a diet that's high in nuts. They use sustainable farming techniques that would make 21st century organic farmers proud. In comparison to the women of Herland, Amazons are responsible for maintaining old customs, including the mythological animals that inhabit the island. Thus, these animals have been granted sanctuary in an effort to protect them. Themyscira is a technical utopia. At the time of the book's publication, the Amazons were armed with futuristic weapons. They looked like ray guns seen in science fiction films. The Amazons were able to learn and practice deflecting bullets with their bracelets by playing a game, which enhanced their fighting skills. Wonder Woman's early appearance showed that she was also well versed in contemporary fashions, allowing her to fit in with society to a significant extent. The magic sphere used by Hippolyta was the cause of all this. The Amazons were able to learn contemporary languages, science, and fashion, as well as possess cutting edge technology that exceeded man's inventions. Potential of the utopian impulse develops when it displays an individual's capacity to learn, grow, and adapt to a societal construct that values variety and seeks to remedy oppressive structures. Diana has been a female role model for years as a feminist hero, battling monsters and wicked scientists. Yet one of her defining characteristics is her determination to settle problems without resorting to violence. Princess Diana continues to fulfill her role as an Amazon ambassador, reflecting the beneficial lessons of her culture. Indeed, Themyscira is at its finest when it teaches us about how much more peaceful the world might be if there was no gender inequality at all. The ideals of Utopia are demonstrated in Themyscira because they highlight the importance of intellect, peace, and rationality, which is a key concept when describing how a utopia world should govern. Thank you.